Good evening, Patriots. Please bear with me. I'm going to invite a few people here. Okay. All right. Dan Dubois here, Canadian Combat Coalition. We're also known as C3. I'm going to recap a little bit of this weekend's events. The Pegida rally on Saturday and our vigil on Sunday. First, I'd like to thank all the Canadian Combat Coalition members that showed up. Unfortunately, the Pegida rally Saturday, I couldn't attend. I was the ride for 4 people coming to the vigil on Sunday from Sudbury. So I couldn't go and stay overnight. I would have, but not everybody could afford to grab a hotel room or didn't know anybody to stay with in Toronto. So I had to stay behind on Saturday and drive these guys up on Sunday. Awesome members. You know, I got to say something. These people that are showing up at this event, these events rather, they got a lot of heart, man. Lots of heart. We do what we do because we're empathetic to the problems that Canada's facing under the Trudeau government and the globalist agenda that's going on around the world. And these good people that attend these things, I mean, you want to talk about commendable people that actually devote their precious time to stand up for Canadians and are refusing to let the country go down the toilet like Trudeau would like to do and is doing. Like, how does a country that is $1 trillion more than it, it's like $1.5 trillion in debt, give away billions to other countries? Like, how does that work? I thought if you were in the green, you could do stuff like that, but you're in the red to the tune of 1.5 trillion, and you're donating money to other countries, and you won't give any of that money to Canadians. So the Pegida rally on Saturday was quite successful. Many Patriots attended. Antifa, I heard there was up almost 10 arrests. The bad guys are always getting arrested, but unfortunately, there's some really stupid people in Canada. The IQ of some of these libtards has got to be not much more than a grape. I swear I've never seen things like I saw this weekend. Well, I guess I have, but not to the extent that I realized how bad the problem was on Sunday. You know, the attendance on the good guys' side, and that's us, was fairly low. Many C3 members showed up, and the JDL was there, of course. Sons of Odin were there. They always support C3 as we do them. But as far as Patriots, not too many people were there. So it seems that I hear crying all over Facebook, oh, Canada's going down the toilet, Trudeau's like this and like that, but then these people stay home. And they don't make a visual protest for the government to see. You know, if there was thousands of us at these protests, the government would be concerned. But because of the low attendance, they're not concerned. And they endorse what is a terrorist group in the United States, because Trump is smart. He's deemed Antifa a terrorist group, and that's what they are. I mean, if you saw our video, and if you haven't, look for it, the video that we made at the vigil yesterday, you'll see this big opposition across the street yelling and screaming at us, calling us racists, and calling us Nazis. I mean, how stupid are these people? I think the cumulative IQ there might have been 20. I've never seen a group of more ignorant, disrespectful, stupid people that makes me ashamed to say that I'm part of this Canadian population. They're calling us Nazis, yet we're standing there with the JDL. They're calling us racists, yet we have Hindus and blacks and Chinese, and we've always they're at our rallies. They're yelling racists to black people and to Hindus and to Jewish people. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? How stupid are these people? We get to the fountain yesterday on Danforth, and there's a big attendance there in opposition. They're all there. One woman gets up there and starts crying and how these haters and these Nazis and everything. Lady, you are one of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my entire life. I swear to God, I can't believe you have the mental capacity to walk. I'm sure you can't chew bubble gum at the same time. These idiots are buying into the propaganda of the left that there were a bunch of haters and a bunch of warmongering Nazis and bigots. Fact of the matter is, most of these groups are multicultural. We weren't there yesterday to oppose anything. This wasn't a rally. This was a vigil. How disrespectful and stupid can you be to actually disrupt such an honorable thing? I swear to God, if my son was in there, I'd kick his ass. Okay? You bunch of friggin' idiots. Disrespecting a vigil against terrorism around the world. Are you denying that there is terrorism, you bunch of morons? Really? And calling the Jewish Defense League Nazis? I swear to God, this country is lost. Why? Because these morons, these low IQ, these people that don't do their due diligence and find out the true facts about what this vigil was about and what the group hosting it is about. Because if they read our mission statement, they'd see we're multicultural, and we want probably the same things they do. But no, they rather endorsed the real fascists, Antifa. Yeah, Antifa posted a bunch of stuff to attend this, so they're endorsing Antifa, terrorists. These people are welcoming people to walk across our borders illegally, so they have no concept or no will to enforce law in this country. Do you think this is a free-for-all? You need laws in a country, or the country will implode. It will kill itself. And that's what's happening. And I saw it yesterday firsthand. The most moronic, low IQ libtards in the world that I've seen. I swear to God, I've never seen such a bunch of morons in my entire life. And willing to use force, because I walked right through them 3 times. I show no fear. I walked right through the entire group 3 times. One guy tried to trip me. Another guy tried to elbow me. Unsuccessfully, because they don't even know fighting tactics. Bunch of kids, morons. And this woman up there crying, oh, these haters. We hate that our government isn't enforcing its laws. We hate that we're letting illegal people come into this country and collect your tax money. Mind you, I think half of the people there don't work. I think you got to be a total moron and probably can't even hold a job to be endorsing the left. But what really troubles me is that these morons have more heart than the right. These morons got up and attended this counter rally, because that was what that was, a rally. So there's your haters. There's your mental illness. I mean, you want to talk mental illness? That's mentally ill. When you embrace people that are coming here that want to kill you, impose terrible things like Sharia law, and you're embracing these people and welcoming them with open arms, like Trudeau does, welcoming ISIS fighters, people that have murdered people. Obviously, you felt no trials or tribulations in your life. Have you ever lost a loved one? How disrespectful to show up on Danforth at the memorial site where two young girls, one 10 years old, was killed in cold blood, and yell at people and scream at people that are only there to pay their respects because of this event. I swear to God, you're the dumbest, stupidest, most moronic, low IQ bunch of retards I've ever seen in my whole life. And I hope this video circulates, and I hope some of you retards that were there see this. Go to our group page and click on About if you have the mental capacity to even be able to do that. I'm surprised these people can even answer a phone. But if you've got the mental capacity to be able to research some of these groups and research what we're about, you might stop hating us. You friggin' retards. You know? What an event to see people hating good people that are there to pay their respects. How disrespectful, how moronic. And I loved that Faith Goldie attended. Faith Goldie was there. The True Patriots were there. The C3 members, the real guys that deserve to wear that shirt that we wear, were there. Guys like Jason Folington that's gone around and gave everybody a little Canadian pin. Thanks a lot, Jason. Him and his wife, Rianne Green, attend almost all the events. Our new member, Rob Ferris, was there. He attended. Rob Group, our guardsman. Dan Unruh, the Ontario president. And I'll tell you, Roger Rowan would have been there, but Roger Rowan blew the transmission in his truck and was unable to attend. If you have a good reason why you weren't there, so be it. If you're ill, if you're broke, if you're injured, if you're too far away, it's understandable. But there's 2.5 million people in Toronto, and you're trying to tell me that only 30, maybe 40 of us were able to attend. We drove 4 hours. Cost a lot of money in my big truck to drive down south and back. I had to work today after coming home at almost midnight last night. You know what I mean? I fell ill. I don't know why. I don't know if I was poisoned or what, but I swear to God, I've been sick all day. I couldn't even make it to work. So, and that's maybe why I'm a little grumpy, because I don't feel good. But these are the facts. If the Patriots don't start showing a visible opposition to this government, this country is lost. This country is going down the tubes more rapidly than other countries. We will be fighting in the streets like in France, Germany, Sweden. You know, these countries, if it's happening there, you think it won't happen here? What, you think we're immune or something? I mean, I understand that the retards across the street probably don't comprehend what's going on and probably don't do their research and just buy into the propaganda because they're of low IQ. And fact of the matter is, they say 2/3 of the population is of low IQ. So, you know, I don't know if 1/3 of us can save the country. You know, not when you elect a retard like we have running the country. So anyways, I'm very proud of those that attended. I'm not going to give up. I just wish that others would start assisting us because we need your damn help. And I'll tell you something else. We can't afford this anymore. So for the first time, C3 will be putting up a GoFundMe page. And I hope that if you can't attend physically, that you can at least help assist us monetarily. Because fact is if I had the funds, I could help other patriots attend. I mean, I'd have no problem throwing a guy $50 for gas if he's saying he's coming. You know? Especially if it's patriot money. This is us helping us do a good thing. I'd have no problem doing that. So C3 needs funds. That's the way it is. The world goes round with money. Ask the globalists. Ask the banks. So I'm going to be, and the fact is I'm not very techie. I'm dumb as a sack of hammers when it comes to technology. So it's going to be difficult for me to figure out this GoFundMe, but I'm going to do it come hell or high water. I'm going to put it on our page, and I'm hoping that you patriots out there that are unable to help physically, because some of you truly are and have legitimate reasons why you can't attend these things. But maybe you have the funds to help those of us that can attend these events. Maybe you can help us get there. I could always get more people there if I could rent a bus, if I could send money to a few of our key patriots and our key members to attend. Some of these members, our own members, could only attend Saturday and not Sunday. They could not afford to attend both events. They wanted to, but I mean, we have to eat. So I'm hoping that you're going to help us monetarily if you can't help us physically. And I'd like to see more people join C3 in a full member capacity, not only as supporters. You know, we need more people that are willing to devote some time and help us save this damn country. Like, don't you care? I'm old. I'm not even going to probably see the shit when it hits the fan. You know, as the proverbial shit hits the fan. I'm probably not even going to see it. Why do I worry? Because I got kids. And I got grandkids. That's why. And when I saw the mental retardation that I saw yesterday opposing patriots trying to do a peaceful vigil, this country's in trouble. Don't kid yourself. If you think that we're just going to fly by, if you're enjoying 3 meals a day now, especially if you're only in your 20s, late 20s, 30s, and you're enjoying 3 meals a day now, if you don't stand up for your country, in 10 or 20 years, you're going to be suffering. And if you got kids, you've just put people into the world that are going to live a life of misery. And the government, this government is endorsing the UN agenda. It's endorsing the Soros agenda. It's all about globalism and no borders. And you can tell that Trudeau is of that mindset. He's opened our borders. You know who's worried about this? The United States. Soon, they won't be bombing the Middle East. They're going to be bombing Canada because we're going to become the enemy. I'm telling you, ISIS and terrorism is setting up camp in this country. Why? Because the global agenda is to destroy the West. And if you don't believe that, you better start doing your due diligence and start doing some research. You know, Agenda 30 is a terrible thing. These super rich are fixing the world so that they don't need people. You go to McDonald's now, you don't need an attendant. You can order your food by a machine. Soon, there won't be enough jobs and people will be starving on the streets in Canada, even more than they are today. Because there's people starving on our streets. I see it right here in Sudbury, and don't tell me all cities across Canada aren't the same. Our own citizens, some because they don't have the mental capacity to hold a job, have been thrust out onto the streets and are starving to death, freeze to death. In Toronto, I think it was 7 people froze to death last year. We can't help these people, but yet we can let in a bunch of immigrants that hate us and are trying to change our way of life and want to impose such terrible things as Sharia law. And we're paying the bill for these people to stay in nice, luxurious hotels. People, listen, that's another thing that the left yesterday was yelling their head. Refugees, welcome. You know what? You're not you friggin' idiots. You're not a refugee coming from a country that's at peace like the United States. What you are is a criminal that broke a federal law and you're in that country illegally and you're fleeing that country before Trump throws your butt out of the country. And what are you doing? You're fleeing to the country next door, breaking another federal law. So you broke 2 federal laws in 2 countries and we're rewarding them. That's why the Americans and Trump is worried about our leadership, about Trudeau, because he's actually endorsing this. And a bunch of retards out there that are backing him up also endorse this. They are endorsing their own demise. Can you believe this? How stupid can you be to endorse your own demise? You're a Merkel. You know, you're like what's going on in Europe. These government globalists, rich elite people, have let in people in their country that is ripping their country apart and will soon cause civil war. These globalist elite politicians deserve to be put to death for treason. That's treason. And almost all countries around the world, the penalty for treason is death. Why there hasn't been any arrests and why stuff like this hasn't happened yet and these people haven't been arrested is beyond me. And I'll tell you something else. Yesterday, if you watch the video, the left is using a microphone, a megaphone rather. We come to use our equipment, and this very disrespectful police officer opposes what another police officer gave us full permission to use our equipment and our loudspeaker. As soon as I turn it on, and we got it on tape, this very disrespectful leftist police officer yells at us to shut it off. Doesn't ask politely. That's what's protecting people on our streets, a hater. That guy was clearly a hater and clearly hated us. Hey, they let the other side use the megaphone. I didn't see him go over there and yell at them, but he yelled at us. And I'll tell you, I shook his hand at the end of the day, and it was very insincere. This man, this police officer, is a moron. And I'm calling you what you are, you friggin' idiot. Okay? I appreciate the police help, because the fact of the matter is the big majority of the police officers that were there were very good at what they do. They were awesome people. And for the most part, I've never had a problem with the police. And I was getting along really good with all the police officers, even the police officer that was running the show at the time, that told me we could use our equipment. Then Mr. Hader comes on. This police officer should be reprimanded. And I'll tell you something, if Faith Goldie gets into position, this police gets in to become the mayor, and we throw out that Tory wimp, that sympathizer of evil and hate and Sharia law that's going to all the Muslim, catering and kissing more butts in a toilet seat, going to all these Muslim mosques. If we can throw that Tory out, I'm telling you, if you live in Toronto, vote for Faith Goldie, and you're going to see more laws restricting terrible things that are going on in Toronto. She'll save that city. Tory is helping destroy that city. He endorses those idiots that were yelling at us yesterday. So anyways, I'm going to just make sure I covered. Yeah. You know what? That Trudeau drives a $2 million car? Yeah. And I guess that's not enough money that he can afford a $2 million car. He voted himself a raise too while he's been in office. You know, Trump across the border donates his money to the veterans' funerals and veterans' cemeteries, his whole salary for the year. And Trudeau votes himself a raise. You know? What an egotistical, selfish, money-hungry piece of crap we have running this country. Let's see. And yeah, let's make it clear that we don't hate all Muslims. There are some really good Muslims in this country that moved to this country, came through the front door, and want to assimilate, and not assimilate, but want to integrate our society and want to contribute to our society, and they're good people. When C3 talks about Muslims or Islam or whatever, let's be clear, we're only talking about the extremists. They're not all bad, and I refuse to believe they are. You can't paint them all with the same brush. So let's be clear for all of those who think we're a bunch of haters. Fact is, we know the difference, okay? They're not all bad. I believe that things like Sharia law, Mark Dixon brought up a very good point. And he says that Sharia law should be added to the criminal code. Damn good idea. That should be added to the criminal code, to make for sure that it doesn't come to this country. So I've pretty well dealt with everything I wanted to speak about. I welcome your questions on this page, on this video, or by PM. And I hope to see more of you start attending these events. It's important, guys. You want to save your country, you're going to have to start standing up for it. You can't just stand on the sidelines and hope and pray that all will be good, okay? We don't live in a candy-coated world, and there are no such thing as unicorns. You know what I mean? This is real life. The crap is starting to really hit the fan, and it's time for Canadians to stand up and save their country. So I just want to go through Roger Rowan. Yeah, so you know what, Roger? You blow the transmission in your truck, you're in a wheelchair, you wouldn't have made it. You wouldn't have made it there. It's totally understandable, my brother. Love you too, by the way. Oh, and Roger says he's back on the road. Right on. I'm happy you got your truck going there, buddy. Right on. I like Arlene Andrews. You're voting for Faith. That's cool. Arlene Andrews says, yeah, there's always one. Yeah, sure enough. Hi, Jessica. I want everybody to know Jessica actually sent me $40 to help with our expenses to travel to Toronto. She sent me $40 right through the e-transfer. She's a new full member of C3. I really hope to meet her and shake her hand one day. Awesome patriot. See, she couldn't attend, but she helped financially. I thank you so much, Jessica. You're a wonderful person. John Burasa, hey brother. Dan Unruh, I need $50, bro. Yeah, Rick Boswick, thanks again for making a video promoting our event. You're an awesome dude, bro. Loline Veronica, yes, we will be. Awesome. Faith Goldie for mayor. Let's say it again. Mayor Forrest, we need shut down Antifa, all the anarchist groups. Absolutely. John Burasa wants me to sing. John, I'd crack the screen, bro. Yeah, and most of them are students, yeah, because they're not, and students, you'd think they'd be smarter, but they buy into the propaganda, and they rather support Antifa than these patriotic groups like ours, Yeah, and see, Rick, he couldn't make it, but what does he do? He attended 2 events in Ottawa, you know what I mean? He's doing the work. He's out there. John Barassa says they've been brainwashed, and yeah, exactly. They have been brainwashed. Yeah. Antifa is led by anti-Canadians from third world countries. Absolutely. Thanks, Tracy, for saying, Tracy Barron, saying that I'm right. I like to think so. Jackie Lozo, Antifa, make everything about racism. Yeah, because they're not too bright. They just start, it's a propaganda at best. Okay, yes, because they listen to their chants. Yeah, exactly, Mayor. Jackie Lozo, cheers, right back at ya. Most people are brainwashed, Mayor Forrest says, and that's absolutely true. Gus Tiffiness, 2 Patriots gatherings on same weekend maybe caused attendance issues. I know I couldn't attend both. Maybe try so there is one unified gathering. You know what? You're absolutely right, Gus. We realized that, but what it is that we wanted to make it on the closest weekend to 9/11. I only found out about the Pegida thing after we'd announced our event. I'm sure our event was diluted, watered down, so to say, because of the Pegida Rally Saturday. That's I think a given, but some people did attend. Listen, if you live in Toronto, I mean, especially if you live, in a 10-mile radius of that area. I mean, how hard is it to get on public transportation and attend this event. That's, I never point the finger at those that can't. I point the finger at those that can. It's those that can and don't. I got an issue with these people. I hear them crying on Facebook, do this, do that, and we hope this happens. We hope, hey, start attending, man. We have to make a visual opposition, or the government is going to keep on this agenda. Only once they see population is standing up against them will they change their agenda. I mean, it's a given. Come on, folks. I'm far from a rocket scientist, I'll tell you that. But I know a problem when I see one, I can identify it, and I try to find solutions, It is what it is. Thanks, Gus. A good comment. Howard Maggie, some people still have to work on weekends. Sorry. Yep. Okay. A legitimate excuse, Howard. Legitimate excuse. What can I tell you? My son, C3 member, he couldn't attend. He had to work. There you go. So, like I say, I'm not pointing the finger at those that have a legitimate excuse. Oh, hi, Gina. Awesome. Sorry couldn't make it as I have not been well. You know what, Gina? Fully understandable, like I said again. I know you've been having some issues. So it is what it is, You're always there when you can be. So, thank you for being the great patriot that you are. Gina Isaac Jane, awesome patriot. Never take away how I feel about her, man. And I know if she could have attended, she would have been there. Mayor Forrest couldn't make it. I know. I heard from Laura that you're putting your kids back in school. And, again, legitimate excuses. It is what it is. Hi, Dan from Drayton Valley, Alberta, says Sharon Johnson. Awesome. Hi, Sharon. Duke Willis. So I make posts to 50 plus groups promoting the two of you, and you guys change your plans without bothering to tell me. No, I'm going on your show at 9 o'clock, buddy. I think I even told you I'm doing my show at 8. That's why I did it at 8. And we're going on. Hey, Robert Ferris, how's it going, brother? I'm going to be on your show. Whoops. I'm going to be on your show at 9 o'clock. I'm hoping it didn't pass 9 there. No, it's only 8:35. So, I'm going to be on your show at 9. So, yeah, Dan and myself, Dan Unruh and myself, Dan, we're going to be on the Duke Willis show at 9 o'clock, unless he's all mad at me now and doesn't want me on this show, But Duke, no, I had full intentions. 9 o'clock, I want to discuss what I've talked about with you and Dan on your show. So, no, full intentions of being there, my friend. All right. So, okay. I think I've covered most of the comments that are there now. Yeah. So I want to thank all the patriots that watched this video. I hope that you share it. Share this video far and wide. The left has to know that we know about them and that we think they're retarded, and that they better start doing their due diligence and getting some facts, because they would quickly change sides and start endorsing us. So join C3. We have some leaders in pretty well almost all the provinces, but we have openings for other leaders. If you're a leader, if you want to help Canada, join C3 and help us, help you, help Canada. So with that said, have a great evening, Patriots, and look for me at 9 o'clock on the Duke Willis Show. Have a great day.